Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-da. Zat-da-do-do-do-do-do-do. Zap-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
I'm not visible, am I?
No. Do-do-do-do-do-do-boop-ba-doo. Aha. And we are live. It took I clicked the button and then it took a minute or so before it started, getting into shape. And for everyone out there, you should know that this is actually good for me to only be like 2 minutes late. I'm typically at least 5 minutes late. At least. It's not a DickRhino stream unless you're at least 5 minutes late. That's how it works. Yes, thank you. This is my glorious thumbnail. It is an image that I drew a long time ago. It's just like a comment, a comic. Just as a reply to someone in a Reddit comment, I drew this. And I kept it because I thought it was funny. I use it for basically everything. Let's say hello to the people. Hello to the people. We got somebody. Hello, hi, Smokey, Mark, USSR, Modox Y, Moffe, official Moffe is here. Sphinxen, hello Sphinxen. I saw Conrad as well. I shite the fairy? Is that right? I hope it's not. Cat Bro, King Bob, Paula Ripamonti, Parry, Luxembourg, Danzig Ball. My god, so many people. ASJW Federation, MB777, Cringy Box, Frisk, Jose Hernandez. My god, it's too many people. Too many people. I can't say hello to everyone. The Waiter of Karma, I will say hello to you. Hello. Ah, man, that's good. That's a good turnout. Right. So I'm going to continue in this stream with what Kolai has been doing, which is drawing stuff for chat. I also, you know what? I'm gonna write to Kolai. And ask if he wants to just pop into live chat. I mean, voice chat. He doesn't have to. We'll see. I've written to the entire team, and we'll see who, if anyone, picks it up. Now, Kolai gave me this, which is his big document that he has been using for drawing what the chat wants him to draw, and like just different avatars and the like. And obviously I have not been able to, keep track of all of this because there's so much over time. But I am certain. Yeah, I know. Kolai has been working on this one for a very long time. I mean, there are people on this image who aren't even in the server anymore. Everyone pour one out for Pete. Shame. But we can still continue to draw more stuff here. Yeah. I'm gonna see if anyone has taken me up on my offer. Now, I'm sure that Kolai has probably some huge list of people. I mean, there is this list here to the side, or just keeping track of the order in which people have requested stuff. But I don't know about this, so I'm just gonna start, and I'm gonna pick someone, and then things are gonna materialize over time, and we're gonna figure this one out. So I'm just gonna look at chat and see what sort of piques my interest. And as always, people, if you're wondering why I'm doing this ASMR thing of mumbling into the mic, it's because I have a sleeping daughter. So I have to speak like this. We gotta do a smooth, nice, jazzy stream where I talk like this. All right, now let's see. Spanish Empire Animation says, can you please show me? I've been waiting for almost 500 live streams, and I promise. Show you? Have you already been drawn and you haven't been shown? I don't know. Or I don't know. So many people are typing. You're right, Henry. It's hard to keep track of. Okay, Spanish Empire Animation asked to be drawn. Okay, Spanish Empire Animation, I am going to ask you a question. How would you like to be drawn? What is your avatar? What do you want your avatar to be? Is it just a Spanish Empire, like the Burgundy Cross, or is there going to be like some details or something? You gotta tell me what you want. You gotta tell me what you want me to draw, so that I can draw it. This is very important. Conrad asks if you can add blue wrenches to the chat moderator's profile picture drawings. I guess I can. I see Anvita up here, but I don't think I'm gonna go and mess with drawings that Cole has already made. In that case, it's better if he does that. Spanish Empire with a hat, the hat that I'm wearing right now, and the sword. Let's have a quick look. Okay, so it's the conquistador hat and a sword. Understood. We can do that. I'm just gonna have to pull up the correct colors here. Now, the Burgundy Cross is a cool flag. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. So, let's start here. And boom, look at this. Oh, it's such a cool flag. I like the Burgundy Cross. So we're just gonna sample that color right away. So we can start drawing. Yeah. All right. Now, I don't know what width Kolai has been using to draw here. It looks like he has been using a width of 4. I like 5. I think 5 is a good width. So we're gonna start, and we're gonna draw a ball. Now, this isn't perfect, but this is definitely good enough to keep on working on. And let's see. We're just gonna remove that. I'm using some wonky techniques for this because I'm using GIMP. Don't worry about it, people. It works. It's a bit too square on the right side, right? It's not bally enough. So we're gonna have to ballify this. And we're gonna do that by just using a different color to just do that and make it like a bit of more of a curve. And they don't connect properly here. So we're gonna do that, and then we can wipe out our little mistakes, like so. And whoopsie. And like so. That's cool. Now we actually have a pretty nice looking ball here. You know what? This is still not really bally enough. We're gonna be taking some time here to make sure that things are gonna look nice. So let's see. Maybe if we start from this side. That's okay, but we can do better. My hand is glitching. Ah, there we go. That's what we want to see. Now we have a country ball that's very bally. This is a pretty good ball outline. I like this. I can work with this. And we're just gonna... There. All in the details. It's all in the details, peeps. Okay. Okay. This looks great. Excellent. So, we're gonna do the classic thing here of copying this outline and pasting a new one on top as a new layer. I'm gonna make that one a different color as well, like so. We're gonna use that later to great effect. Now, we're gonna need that burgundy cross again. And then we have to figure out what's the smartest way of drawing it. And let's see. First, we settle on a thickness. Say about 20? Yeah. Something like 20. Maybe even 25. Maybe even 25. Yeah. Cool. And then see this, people? We can't do it just flat because the ball is, well, the ball is ball shaped. So if we did this thing flat, then it would be all wrong. It's got to follow the lines of the ball. And I actually have a pretty interesting idea for how to do the hooks, the barbs on this thing. So I'm going to see if this works. We're going to do this. And we're going to continue with this on the other side too. Because I think this is going to work. And on the other side, they go in this direction. And so. And we'll see, people. We'll see if my cool idea works or not. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. There. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take just a completely different color. A completely different color. And then we're going to just draw a line. Something like that. And like that. And like that. And like that. Sort of like we're doing a Union Jack. In a way. And like that. And like that. And like that. No, that wasn't a good line. That was a much better line. And like that. Okay. Then we're gonna color in all of the reds on the outside of this line. This is just an idea. I just had this popped into my head that maybe I can do it like this. I have no idea if this is gonna work or not. We're gonna find out in real time, people. So, if you're asking in chat, there is someone, I don't know who has created that account called Polandball Official Music. They have stolen our profile picture, stolen like our artwork, and they've also stolen our videos and just re-upload them on their account. They do not have the rights to do this. So we have been requesting that YouTube take those down. They have not requested permission from us to do this and to try to build their own name by just stealing our content. So we don't approve of that. We don't approve of that, and we don't tolerate it. So if you're wondering why we struck your videos, now you know. And if you try to upload them again, we're gonna strike them again, because they do not belong to you. They do not belong to you, and you do not have permission from us to upload them. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I hope that answer is satisfactory to you, because that is the only answer you are going to get. You are trying to brand yourself as if you were affiliated with us when you are not. You're trying to build your channel on the lie that you are affiliated with us, and we don't approve of it. So that's that. I think this blue line can be done better. Yeah. Alright, people, now I'm very intrigued to see what happens if I just highlight all of this blue here and delete it. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that just gorgeous? What a cool way of drawing the burgundy flag. I have to say that I'm actually a bit impressed with myself for just thinking of a technique that probably is going to work. And we had that other layer, remember, that we saved for the outline. So that's fine. That's not in danger. We can continue working on this like this. Now, if there's anything you know about me, it's that I do not enjoy jagged lines. They must be fixed and they must be smoothified. So I typically do a lot of this with my comics and just go over errant pixels that I don't enjoy. They bother me. I can't sleep at night when I see errant pixels. There we go. Okay, cool. Now, next up. Conquistador hat. Okay, I see what we're dealing with here. Let's start with a new layer for this. And it's a pointy thing. So it's going to be something like that. And something like that. So this is just a very brief sketch I'm doing. I'm going to do a proper one later. This is just sort of for me to figure out how it's supposed to be drawn. So it's going to be a loop-de-loop here. And No. Something's wrong here. This isn't right. It's a bit right, but it's also wrong. We can do better than this. Gag Pits. Wow, $10 donation. Thank you. That's very cool. Asking if it is the Spanish Empire. Yes, it is in fact the Spanish Empire I'm drawing with the burgundy cross. There's gonna be a sword in there as well. I just need to figure out the ins and outs of how to draw this helmet so it looks right. So I'm gonna leave this layer because it's wrong. It's wrong, but I'm gonna use it as the basis for a new attempt. So I'm gonna leave that in the background there. So let's try this again. We start by pointing this outward, like so. Just a good old straight line. Maybe even a bit upward. Something like that. That's going to be good for hiding the backside of the thing. And then we still do the loop-de-loop. Yeah, like so. And here we can loop it around on this side. That looks way better. That looks way better. And then from here we can do the hat part, as it were. I'm just gonna remove this. And there we go. And then the brim is gonna go back all the way back here. And maybe something like that. Okay, okay. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. And now I can actually fill in the inside here to see what that would look like. That ain't too bad, but it's a bit off center, so we're gonna move this. We're gonna move this to maybe, and I'm also gonna put the outline back for now so that I can see what I'm doing. Now we can delete the old one that we're not gonna use. And then we just sort of have to figure out, like, where do we put this so that it looks right. I can even transform this layer a little bit if I want to. Okay. Do I want it to be a bit more uppity like this? No, maybe not. Maybe not. I can keep the rotation of the thing. Let's see. I probably want it somewhere there, I think. So if I extend this here, like so, that's probably gonna look pretty good. I think that's probably gonna look pretty good. Excellent. Okay, so people, just so you know, this one right here, it's not the one we're gonna use either. I'm gonna draw a smoother outline, but now we have a basis that I'm gonna use as my starting point, and then we're just gonna draw on. I'm just gonna check that. Yeah, I'm on a separate layer. Now we're just gonna draw on top of this. And now we're really gonna pay attention to our strokes. Guys, you gotta practice your strokes. You have to practice your strokes every day. If I find out that you have not been practicing your strokes every day, I'm gonna be so mad. And we're gonna go for maximum smoothness here. Yeah. Oh, that was smooth. Youngblood asks if I have any tips for stroking. Nice. That looks very smooth. And that's smooth. And we're gonna continue being smooth. Oh yeah. Gekpis donate another $10. Damn. Poland, I told Rectangle Sphere. No, the rectangles. Here you lived. Are you happy, Poland? Ah, I have to translate this. I told rectangles. Here you lived. Are you happy, Poland? This might be something in the chat that I've not been paying attention to. However, thank you very much for this very generous donation. Jesus Christ, man, you just chill. Chill. We appreciate it. But now I'm all like, oh goddamn, now I have to be funny. Now I'm have to be now I have to be entertaining to you know, honor this and actually earn this generosity. Sphinxon has a good point, man. I don't think you should be using your full name and your school and your grade as whatever it is. You are giving out a lot of personal information about yourself, and you have to be careful about that, man, because the internet is not always a nice place. And you're probably fine here, right here in this stream, because I don't think there's anyone here who cares all that much. But make it a habit. Make it a habit of being smart when you're on the internet. And don't put yourself in unnecessary risk. I mean, look at me, man. Look at me. I'm showing my face on camera, which is enough in many ways. But I don't go out with my full name. I don't tell people where I live or where I work. Because there are people out there on the internet who don't always mean well. And we don't want any of our fans to end up in trouble. So I agree with the sentiment. If you can, always if you can, stay anonymous on the internet. Don't give out your personal information unless you have to. That is just a PSA from me to you. If you're wondering what I'm doing here, well, you see, it's because this layer right here. I can delete the green layer now. There we go. Now let's see, blue layer. Okay, I did here. There. This is just because I have to color this in with some sort of color. We'll just pick whatever placeholder color, boom, like so. This layer is going to be on top of the outline, so I have to do it this way so it won't interfere. We need our nice sort of like 3D effect. And now we have the beginning of the helmet, the beginning of it. We're going to make it look cool. Don't worry about it. We're going to make it look cool. For now, we're going to add a new layer with the eyes. That's next on the docket. Some nice looking eyes. I'm going to keep this helmet here because I want to see where the helmet is going to end up. Yes, it is DickRhino Asmer. Don't worry, I'm going to add shine. Don't you worry about it. And let's see. Do we want happy eyes? Do we want angry eyes? I think we want angry eyes. Yeah. So right now I'm just drawing some oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Do I prefer cartoony or realistic artworks, asks Mark. That's actually a very good question. And it's one of those things that have caused like schisms in the community over the years. Personally, like when it comes to guys like Dictodome, for example, they can draw stuff that like I could never. They're so massively talented. But I remember that there were like arguments before with me and some other people. There's a French guy, he doesn't do Polandball anymore, but he did back then in those years, called 440 Hertz, who also was like a champion of that sort of like more realistic style. And I remembered like back then I sort of had an issue with it and sort of thought that like, oh, this is taking Polandball away from its roots. This is taking Polandball away from like what it's supposed to be. And I've always sort of like thought that Polandball comics are so great because it's sort of accessible to everyone. Anyone can be a Polandball artist. You can just, you know, pick up MS Paint and a mouse or a trackpad or whatever, and you can just start working, right? And that works. You can do that. And I sort of like, I guess I was worried that Polandball was going to be something that wouldn't be accessible to everyone if it got like too hyper realistic. But I think I've sort of like changed my stance on this over time and loosened it up a bit. I think today my stance is that like, you know, I don't want to be that sort of like arbiter of what you can and can't do. Maybe it was from jealousy, right? Maybe it was just because I can't do that, so it irks me when other people can. Who knows? When you grow up, you sort of like change your perspective on some things and realize that you might have just been a bit stupid about some stuff that you thought that you weren't stupid about. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to make a copy of this layer of just the, you see here, this part. And I'm going to use that for shading and highlighting purposes later. Now, on the other hand, I want some details. I want some deets. So, let's draw some cool stuff, shall we? On this here helmet. Let's draw some cool stuff. I'm going to use a slightly thinner pencil for that. And we're going to do something like... let's see. Oh, I still have stuff tagged here. We're going to do maybe... That I don't like that line. That's a better line. I like that line a lot more. And something like that, maybe? Wife walked by in the background.
Yes, well, your stupid speakers connected to the TV and destroyed my sound output.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Wife is watching TV and I messed with that. I apologize to wife. That's the good thing, people, about being an old fart like me. You get to be married. That ain't too bad. Okay. Let's do some jazzy decorations. Ooh. Yeah. Beautiful. Another donation of $10 from Gag Pits. I kidnap Alaska and Ohio. Oh my god. Don't do that. They need to they have a right to exist, man. Yes, another quick wife encounter. Wife encounters of the third degree. Did you know that my lovely wife used to also be a Polandballer? She's not anymore, but she used to be. We met during during one of the first, or the first actually, Polandball meetups, which was in Poland. Kola has talked about this one on stream. That's the one that he went to as well. The one where Brain for Breakfast was at. It was like a literal who's who of just notable Polandball people. And she was there too. So that's the first time we met each other. Long story short, I bagged and tagged that shit. Yes, hello, wife.
Hey, honey. You tell them, or did Conway tell them that you arrived, we dragged him to Auschwitz and then filled him full of palinka?
I'm sure Kola has talked about that as well. That on his first day of arriving, he showed up super jet lagged, and we were all like, "Oh, hi, Kola. Fun to see you. Here, jump in this bus. We're going to Auschwitz." Which is fun. So that is literally the first thing he did when showing up, basically like before he had even had a chance to say hello to people. I'm sure that was a very good first impression of all of us for him.
And then in the evening, he got bathtub palinka.
There's gonna be honey, there is underage people listening to this. We're not gonna be talking about debauchery and alcohol and other things that grown-ups do. We're not gonna talk about that.
Okay.
This is a nice PG-13 stream. My wife is trying to guide you all down the path of sin, but I won't let her. No. You are safe with me, chat. Do. Yeah, I'm when it comes to the detail on this hat, I'm just like, spur of the moment. I just felt like doing it. I'm like, why not? Why not go all out here? This looks pretty cool. And I'm gonna do the same thing here on this side, but it's gonna be here. It's gonna be a lot easier to deal with. It's not gonna be a whole lot of detail here, just a little bit. Ah. Away, foul temptress. She's giving me a look. That happens quite often. It happens quite often. You are correct, though. You are correct, though. Do. I have a feeling that this hat is gonna end up looking pretty nice when everything has been said and done. Do. Ah. Why wife is not a baller anymore? She not interested anymore? What of happened made her quit things? Kinda. I mean, it's pretty uncommon, I would say, for someone like me or Kolai to obsess over just like this one thing for years and years and years and years. Most people in, you know, whatever internet community they are in, most people, they stick around for a couple of years, maybe at most. And then, you know, time passes, life moves on, you find other interests, and you sort of like struggle to find the motivation to continue with the thing. It doesn't mean that like it wasn't valuable or just meaningful. It just, that's life. People move from thing to thing. That's pretty normal. So, you know, she was involved with the community for years. She just didn't stick around as long as me or Kolai did, but almost no one has. And Aaron, of course. I mean, Aaron is the one we really got to talk about, because me and Kolai, we were both on like a year-long hiatus. Several years. I took a 4-year break from Polandball to work on my gaming YouTube channel instead, because just that felt more fun at the time. Then I came back, just sort of like rediscovered the spark, the love for it, and just wanted to get back into doing Polandball stuff again. So there is no like unified sort of like one answer for why she doesn't do it anymore. It just, you know, it happened. Happens to everyone. It is very, very rare that you pick up like an interest and sort of like obsess about that over that, and you're still doing it like 10 years later. That's not going to be the case for most internet hobbies. And that's fine. That's fine, people. I'm even going to say, you know, that's healthy. Sometimes I've seen this, and I've seen even like bitterness form from this, where people stick around for too long and they keep on doing something that doesn't even really make them happy anymore, but they just keep on doing it like out of habit, because they don't know anything different. Sometimes it can be good to sort of like break away from that and just try to do something completely different. After Spain ball, Mootkins asks, can you do Utah ball with their new state flag? Little Mormon tag on it for obvious reasons. That sounds pretty fun. Yeah, that sounds like something I could do. Now, obviously, also thank you for the donation. Very gracious. Very gracious. Thank you. Thank you. Obviously, we'll see how long this is going to take, because now now I turned this into a project. This is pretty good. This is pretty good with the details here. So now, my idea here is for this to be maybe a highlight. Let's see how I'm thinking about this. What if we make this a lighter color and use that as the basis for our sort of like shading and highlighting? Yeah, that could be pretty cool. That could be pretty cool. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to start here. Now, I don't have a plan for this, and I typically do this many times when I draw, where I'm just like, I do something that I've never done before, just to sort of test myself, like, just, is this going to work? How is this going to look if I try to do this? And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And that's just sort of like how you progress as an artist. Just don't get stuck always doing the same thing. Okay. Now, light is going to come from the front, I think. So what we're going to do is we're gonna take a darker color here, something like that, maybe. Yeah. And now we're gonna start working on the magic. This is my favorite part. When you start adding in your shading. It's when everything comes together and it starts looking a lot more cooler and complex when you do. I have a feeling that this is going to look really good when everything's been said and done. And we're going to, let's see. Yeah, something like that. That's pretty cool. And like that. And like that. Now I'm in the zone. Now you can't stop me. And I even have like a special little thing at the end that I have planned to make this even cooler. So at this point, this just looks like I'm drawing lines. But wait until I start filling this stuff in. You're gonna be like, oh yeah. Oh, it's all coming together now. And I'm like, you're damn right it is. Mm-hmm. And here I think this is good. Yeah, something like that. Oh yeah. That's gonna be great. Spanish Empire asks if ST can into Nordic. Obviously the answer is no. That's the classic one. ST can never into Nordic. It's not gonna happen, Estonia. Stop trying to make it happen. See, it's funny. It's not like preposterous in the sense you would think. Estonia has some claim to being considered a Nordic country. Not like a super strong claim or something, but they do have. For a short while, they were part of the Swedish kingdom. And Finland is a Nordic country, and Estonia is culturally closer to Finland in many ways than it is to the other Baltic states, of Latvia and Lithuania. So, no, Latvia obviously cannot into Nordic. For example, the Estonian language is more closely related to the Finnish language than it is to the other Baltic languages. So there are things that that you could, make the claim that this should qualify Estonia as being sort of like Nordic adjacent. But on the other hand, it's fun to just say no. That's basically it. It's just fun. So that's what we do. Now I'm going to do another thing here. And we're going to add a brighter color. What? What are you doing, DR? That's crazy. That's too much detail. What are you doing? I'm like, yeah, I am crazy like that. Crazy like a fox. And we're doing it for the love of the art, people. Love of the art. And we're gonna do the brim like so. Yes. And I think we're gonna extend it a bit further here. I just didn't like that particular line. There we go. That's cool. And here. And here. Beautiful. Now I'm just looking at this, just taking a bird's eye view and sort of like seeing if there's anything missing here. Maybe we can do one here. Definitely up here. Gorgeous. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Yes, girl, slay. Yeah, okay, this looks pretty cool. So now, if I'm gonna fill this in, I have a sneaking suspicion that this is gonna look pretty rad. So we're filling in the brighter colors. Like so. And we're filling in the darker colors that we've been doing as well. Now, there was one line here that didn't connect here. So, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, this one can be left alone. There we go. And here we're gonna fill in here and here and here and here and here, 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 and here. Now we're gonna see. That's pretty cool. Now, the thing about this is that these colors are a bit too, the contrasts are a bit too sharp. But if you remember, I copied those colors here. Let's see. I see I didn't fill that in completely. Doot. That's okay. Now the reason why I did that is because I can now use this layer as a filter to put on top, so that we can like mute stuff and add some different shading and highlighting to it. So if I took this and just change the opacity here, Gagpits, oh my god, another donation of $10. You are crazy, man. Like your mama Earth. Jupiter is my man. I just wish that I knew what you were talking about, man. I just wish I could understand your comments. I'm gonna say that it's probably something very, very it's probably something very what's the word I'm looking for? Profound. There we go. Now, I do think that before we move on, we have to tone this down a bit, because they are slightly too big, these contrasts, and it looks weird. So let's get all the colors a bit closer together here. We can do that. That's a quick fix. Yeah. Same with the shading here. Gonna raise that up a bit. That is too bright. There. Let's see what they're talking about in chat. Chat moderators. Japanese Empire, why are they in timeout? Defending Drew Durnall, gotcha. Let's see. I've heard the story here by told by Kolai. Someone on our Polandball is going to sue him for stealing their art, and he threatened to dox them if they did. Not exactly. Oh my god. Italia, $5 free money. You guys are crazy. You are absolutely crazy today. No, what happened was that GateNerd, who is on this channel, is one of the people working on this channel. He had enough of Drew Durnall stealing his shit, like Drew Durnall steals everyone's shit. So he was going to file copyright strikes against his channel in the videos that used GateNerd's comics without his permission. And in response to that, ooh, that was a cat in the background. In response to that, Drew Durnall basically threatened to dox him if he went through with that. That is what happened. So, if you want to know what the character of your some of your other countryballs YouTubers is, well, then now you know. Gagpits, you were insane. You were absolutely insane. You gotta go. Jesus Christ, another $10 donation. You were man. How do I live up to this? Alright, so now people, now that I've done like the work in the background here, I'm just gonna do something real simple here on this layer. And we're gonna draw some nice bright colors like this and fill them in here. And then we're gonna do some dark colors on this side. Yeah. Sorry about cat sounds in the background. It happens if you have cats. Like so. Hi, Snoopy. Snoop, if you continue like that, you're gonna be on camera. And if we now turn the opacity on this one to something like, yeah, 75%. Now that hat looks pretty cool. I'm gonna see if I can grab the Snoopy. Okay, we have a Snoob. Snoopy, do you have something to say to stream? I know you hate when I pick you up. Yes, I know you hate when I pick you up. He hates it when I pick him up. Oh, but he's a cutie. Oh, he's a cutie. Boop. I'm gonna have to go give him a snack. 5 seconds, people. I'm gonna be back. Yes, chair stream. Okay, folks. Now we have a live stream. Now the live stream has been blessed by Snoopy. And because the live stream has been blessed by Snoopy, it is now 1,000,000 times better than it was before. Now I have to go back and read chat and see what chat had to say about Snoopy. This is very important. Okay, let's see. Show us the cat. Meow. There we go. This is when Snoop was on camera. Snoopy, kitty, kitty. We want Snoopy. Cat, meow, meow. Aw, I love him. Cute cat. Cat, cat. Ragdoll cat. Snoopy, cat. Little baby. Aw, hi, Snoopy. Yes. There we go. Also, F-Synth asks if GateNerd ended up filing the strike. No, GateNerd actually, he retracted those copyright claims because he did not enjoy the threat of being doxxed by someone who has a channel with 1.5 million followers. And that was the end of that saga. For now. What we can do about the Drew Durnall situation, we'll see. We'll see. Now, what's my opinion on Mr. Spherical? Now, I know that Kolai has also been asked about his opinion on Mr. Spherical, and you know, I pretty much agree with Kolai that like what he does, we don't really consider it to be the same thing as Polandball. It's sort of like its own thing, you know, because he draws like eyes, I mean arms and hands and mouths, and a lot of the stuff, it just doesn't feel like Polandball. Polandball has this feeling to it, you know, those origins of being MS Paint and coming from Kraut Chan, and you know, it's sort of hard to pinpoint and describe exactly, you know, what is Polandball and what isn't Polandball. And there is a quote by someone, I don't remember who said it, but regarding the question of, you know, like, what is art? And he said, like, I can't explain what art is, but I know it when I see it. I know that something is art or not when I see it. And that's sort of the same thing when it gets to Mr. Spherical, right? I can't explain exactly what Polandball is and what Polandball isn't, but I know it when I see it. And Mr. Spherical is not Polandball. Well, the situation, I Hate Apples asks, what is the situation with Drew Durnall? The situation with Drew Durnall is that he is a person who has a YouTube channel that he just reacts to stuff, right? And he is just one in a long line of people who has never been a part of the Polandball community, has never contributed to the Polandball community, never participated in it, never had any love for it. He just saw Polandball as a way to make a quick buck. That's all Polandball has ever been for him. And, you know, he has never drawn a comic in his life. He's never shared a dime of the profit that he has made on other people's art. He has never... He used to not even credit people. That was pretty much the only thing that came out of the Gate Nerd situation. That, I guess out of fear of getting hit with more copyright strikes or whatever, he actually started to credit people in his videos, which he hadn't done before. So there is that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't respect him. I don't respect him because he has never been a part of this community. He has never wanted to be a part of this community. He doesn't interact with this community. Never talked to any of us. Never been a part of the subreddit. He doesn't even interact with his own subreddit. So for me and for Kolai, for Aaron, Polandball has been this sort of like lifelong passion that's been going on for a decade now. It's like a quarter of my life that Polandball has been a part of it. And for him, it never has been. He's never cared about any of this. So, in a nutshell, I don't respect what he does, and I don't like his channel. I think he doesn't contribute anything of value. I think if he was gone tomorrow, it would have no bearing on the future success or failure or whatever of the medium of Polandball. He's not important. He is just someone making money off of the works of other people and contributing nothing of value himself. That's it. I mean, it's apparent by the fact that whenever the subreddit is like slow and there's like not a lot of stuff being posted, then suddenly he doesn't have anything to make videos about, right? See, that's the difference, and which Cole I also agrees with when it comes to oh shit, did I fuck up? I fucked up so bad. I'm sorry, people. I have to go back. Actually, I don't. I don't have to go back. Because I was like, I accidentally overwrote this one. Which I was like, oh no, I messed with previous artwork. But then I'm like, I'm dumb. I still have the original image. That hasn't like been lost or anything. So don't worry about it, people. When I started merging down layers, I merged all the way down, so I have now actually messed with that one. But that's fine, we can fix that. I still have the original. So this damage here can be undone. We didn't ruin it forever. Yeah. Whoever you are behind the Polandball official music channel, you are not Polandball official. We are not affiliated with you in any way. And I am gonna go ahead and just ban them from this channel. Yep. There we go. Now they can no longer bother us. Ain't gonna let him build up his channel by just stealing from ours. Now all that's left is the sword. What sort of swords did the conquistadors use? It probably doesn't have to be anything crazy. Radical Statesball asks, or explains, yeah, so Drew was using Gatenerd's comics without permission, and Gatenerd was going to issue a copyright strike against him, and Drew threatened to dox him. Yes, that is pretty much what went down. Now let's see. Boo, boo, boo. Spanish Empire animation is back. That's cool. Look, I think the hat turned out pretty nice. Now all that's left is a sword. We can bang out a sword. easy. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna cheat a bit, because I found a nice sword that I want to use. Paste as a new layer, like this. And we're gonna, let's see if we can, if we can do like a cool selection here and delete a bunch of stuff. There we go. And we're gonna scale this down to 50%. I just saw this sword and thought that this is gonna look good on like a country ball to hold. And then we're gonna rotate it like so. Actually, we're gonna rotate it a bit higher there. That's a better angle. And if we can flip it, yeah, flip it horizontally and then rotate here. So that the lighting gets right. There. No. That was a bad rotation. That's the rotation we want. Okay, that's pretty cool. And look, Nightbot warns you about repetitions. So if you just do the same message over and over and over again, or the same sort of emoji over and over and over again, Nightbot can in fact identify that as spam. So keep that in mind, people. Now, instead of drawing a line here, I'm going to do a thing, because I want this to be pretty straight. And I'm not using a line tool, but I am doing like short straight lines. So it still looks pretty straight, but it doesn't look perfectly straight. It's not perfectly straight, so we're gonna stay true to the idea behind the rules, even if we aren't following them to the greatest extent. Oh. Hi, Gate Nerd. I saw that Gate Nerd was actually sitting and hanging out in voice chat, and I didn't see that he was there. Damn it.
Oh, that's no problem. I've been watching the stream actually.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Yeah,
What
no problem.
What did you think about Snoopy?
Snoopy?
My cat.
Oh, very cute. Yes.
Thank
sorry.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a cat with similar length hair, but he's a tuxedo. So.
What was his brand?
Name?
No, it's like, is he? Yeah.
Oh, American long hair.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, I assume it's the same thing as the European long hair. Is that yours, or is it fancy?
This is actually fancy. They are thoroughbreds. They are ragdolls. But
oh, cute.
But we didn't like get them with any intention of having like thoroughbreds. This was at the start of COVID, and we had been talking about getting cats, and lockdowns had just happened with isolation, and me and Anna were both, stuck in that situation of like, okay, we're gonna be working from home for the foreseeable future, and we've been talking about getting cats, and there are a lot of like COVID pets, people who got pets during the pandemic, but we were like, typically we think that cats should be allowed to be sort of outdoors cats. So if we had gotten like kittens or something, then we would probably have had like a different mentality about it. But now it's like, what if we go to a shelter and what if we find some cats that like have already like just been indoor cats their entire lives, and they just sort of like need a new home. And we thought that that was like a worthy cause. So that's what we did. And we went to the shelter and just asked for cats that had been indoor cats before. And we were really only in the market to get one cat. But then we found these two little boys. In particular, Snoopy is the one who really like got up in our business and was like very, very adamant about, you know, pick me. And we super fell for him. And the people there said that like these two brothers are like super codependent on each other. So they wouldn't allow anyone to just adopt one of them. They were like, if you want these cats, then you have to take both. You cannot separate these two brothers from each other.
Yeah, they're bonded.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Yeah. And we thought, yeah, no, that sounds swell. So it became two cats instead of one. And they just happened to be thoroughbreds. And the shelter was like, yeah, we don't care about that. That's not important. They don't cost more to adopt than any other cat we have here at the shelter. So.
Well, that's good, because they can be a pretty expensive breed to get.
Oh yeah. And the thing about ragdolls, you know why they're called that?
Because they have like a thing where they flop when you pick them up or something. They have like
yes.
Yeah.
Correct. They are bred to be docile and to just relax every muscle in their body when someone tries to pick them up. So they flop around like a ragdoll. Which is like why they recommend that, like, if you have ragdolls, then you better have them as indoor cats, because they get stolen. Because they are the easiest cat in the world to steal, because you can just walk up to them in the street and pick them up, and they're not even gonna try to resist it.
Yeah, that's. I'm sure that if they got in a fight too, that like.
No, and that was a problem. Yeah, that was a problem for them in the shelter too. That they are like just wimps. They can't be around other cats because other cats just bully them. And they don't even try to stand up for themselves. Sad.
Poor guys.
Poor guys.
They're cute.
Yeah. We're giving them a good home. They have it nice here. Lots of snacks. Pets every day. What more could you ask for?
Yeah.
So what have you been up to?
I'm actually right now working on some drawings for a short, and otherwise just been working because it's sort of the middle of the day for me.
By the way, Moffa says that your mic is pretty low. I don't think your mic is low. I think it's that I am whispering. So I'm going to turn you up. What about now? Just talk a bit and we'll see what chat says about your volume.
Yeah, I think that I have monitoring headphones finally, so I can hear my volume, and it seems okay to me.
Yeah.
But I just got a new good microphone, so I still don't really know how to use it.
I think you should be much better now.
Cool. What kind of microphone do you have?
It's fine. It's a Blue Yeti, which is a USB mic, but it's like it's not like a super high end thing. It sort of just comes recommended as like when you start out as a content creator and streamer. It's pretty good to have. Because it's affordable and it sounds professional enough.
Yeah, that's what I've used for a long time. I just kept getting frustrated because I have a lot of background noise and echoing, and the Blue Yeti just can't I couldn't get past that through filtering. So
Yeah. No, there are things it can do and things it can't. Now, let's see. I'm gonna have to do like a little shadow for this sword as well. And just something like that. I think that's gonna be pretty good. Let's just tweak this a little bit here on this side. Yeah. Boom. Set the opacity to 70%. So it matches up with the other one. And then we can just sort of move it around a little bit. No, that's wrong. Right?
the shadow,
Yeah.
it looks like the shadow's not on the ground. Yeah. It should be kind of like parallel to the horizontal, I guess. Maybe. Because it
Well-
kind of looks like your light is from the top.
Exactly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste that as a new layer. And then I'm going to rotate it to... No. I just want to rotate this layer. Maybe it should be something like this. Rotate it the other way.
I have a delay, so I will let you know once I see it.
Yeah. You should be able to see it like about now.
That looks confusing.
Yeah,
If you elongated the shadow under Spain towards the right, that would make sense. Like more.
yeah, you're right. You're right. So it would have to be something like this. And if I use the uniform to transform tool. Let's see. This is stuff you can do in GIMP, people.
Imp is great.
Yeah, you can do some pretty rad stuff here. Might be... let's see. Stretch it out here. Stretch it out so. And here. Oh, we're stretching, people. Don't worry about it. We're stretching. Until it looks just right. So maybe... No, that ain't right.
I think part of the problem might be the fact that based off of the rotation of the actual sword, you shouldn't be able to see the hilt.
Right.
Unless the shadow was being cast into the image, in which case you could.
Do you think maybe something like no? I am so my brain is stuck on this shadow of like how can I get this to work?
I think it looks okay at like a 45-degree angle. You had it like a while ago. I think that looks good. I can understand it's a shadow.
Now I think I'm onto something. That ain't too bad.
No, but it should get narrower towards the top, not wider, because it's further away. That looks good. Yeah, that looks really good.
That's what I was thinking, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That works. Okay. So new layer where we're just gonna trace over that. And do 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 do.
Every once in a while I watch people drawing like normally not Polandball stuff, and being able to use anti-aliasing and a brush tool instead of pencil tool, it seems like such a wonderful thing. Like
I know.
shadows look so much nicer, honestly, when they're like fuzzy, and like lighting and things like that are easier too.
There are some stuff that I would also like to do with some fuzziness here and there, and technically we can here on YouTube, because technically we are not beholden to the rules of the subreddit here. But I think we've just been traditionalist for so long that I don't think we could like get ourselves to do it. We just feel wrong. However, I think I'm at the point where I'm gonna call that good enough. Because I've been spending a lot of time here on this one guy. But there we have it. There we have it, Spanish Empire ball. I have drawn the Spanish Empire with the hat and the sword. I'm gonna say this one is completed now. That looks pretty good. Gorgeous. Okay, so we have a couple of different ones now. But Winter Aurora asks, "Can I please be next? I have been here since the start of the stream." I would have to ask Winter Aurora. What do you want me to draw? Is it the country ball that you are using as your profile picture right now? Is that the one you want? If it is, we can do that. That actually looks pretty easy in comparison to the pretty advanced thing that I've been working on here. Folks, you want to know something crazy? I just realized that I have been streaming now for an hour and a half, and not once have I saved any of my work. So I did that now.
I think GIMP has auto saving, doesn't it?
Huh?
Does GIMP have auto saving?
I don't know.
No.
I'm not sure I have it enabled anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna put you back here. And this was Spanish Empire animation. Just gonna type that in. Yeah. As to not forget. And I think, you know what? We're going to do it exactly like Kolai. So I think he's... No, he's not bolding. He's not bolding. Yeah. That looks about like his stuff. Cool. Ethan Production is saying, I was actually the one behind the Polandball official music channel. I was only doing it to see how long it would take for the videos to get taken down. Come on, man. That is childish. And just, you know, acting in bad faith. We don't appreciate that one bit. Evangelia Cosmo asks, what was your main inspiration for drawing comic? Was there any popular Swedish comic strips that you used as inspiration? Not exactly. When I grew up, I read a lot of comics. I read some, you know, just comedic strips. I read a lot of superhero comics. Love Spider-Man. Grew up reading Spider-Man. And a lot of Disney stuff as well. In particular, like Don Rosa's long serial, you know, about the life and times of Scrooge McDuck was like a hugely inspirational for me as like just a formative piece of media that like made me appreciate comics in a whole new way. Everyone should like go out of their way to find those Don Rosa comics about Scrooge McDuck. They're so good, and the drawing quality is just absolutely gorgeous. I was never all that much into Swedish comics. There's not a whole lot to be all that impressed by, to be honest.
I don't think I know any Swedish culture outside of ABBA and the Skarsgårds. Girl with the dragon tattoo. That's Swedish, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The original.
Yeah, the books.
Yeah, but they're shit.
I've never read them.
It's, you know what's interesting about it is that the guy who wrote them, Stieg Larsson, he died very shortly before those books were published. He had finished writing them all, but they had not yet been published. And he
For that,
Huh?
was he an author of other books?
No, he was actually a journalist.
Oh,
But he'd written those books, and the main character of the book is this, you know, journalist turned author guy who's like this cool sort of rock star type, and like all the ladies want him and all the men wish they could be him and all of that. And it's like it's one of the most obvious sort of like self-insert characters ever, where it was just like he was just writing who he would like to be or whatever.
is that this with Ian Fleming and James Bond? Wasn't he in the OSS? Maybe, I don't know.
Stieg Larsson?
No, Ian Fleming, the guy who
Oh.
wrote James Bond.
Right, maybe. Anyway, my point is that in a way it's sort of sad that he died before the books were published, because he would have gotten to be that guy, right? He totally would have become that rock star author that he had always sort of like envisioned himself as being.
Yeah.
So he never sort of got the fruits of his labor in that way. But yeah, finished writing the books and then died before they got published, and then they became like a global phenomenon. So kind of sucks for him. Official Moffe asks, maybe a stupid time to ask this, but you remember the comic review stream? How I could improve my punchline and go for the kill? Can you give me a quick lesson on that? Yes, I can. I just have to first finish this thing by Winter Aurora. Let's see, copy image, paste this new layer. Yeah, here we go. Man, everything gets so jank when you sort of like copy it from YouTube. It's JPEG to hell and back. But I just need the colors. And the star, I think it's supposed to be the same color here, but it's got this cool little border thing going on that we can actually do something fun with. We should, so we can like jazz this up a little bit. I'm all for jazz.
You like jazz?
I'm actually not that into jazz.
Me neither. There's a few jazz people I like to listen to, but that's about it. I live in Kansas City, though, so there's a lot of jazz clubs.
I know very little about Kansas.
Well, that's okay. It's in Missouri.
Yeah, the only thing I know about Missouri is that it's the home state of famous WWE wrestler Randy Orton.
I didn't know that, so you know at least something I don't. Eminem is also born in Missouri. Probably some other people too, but I couldn't tell you. Harry Truman?
Oh, we don't talk about him. Okay. That looks pretty decent. We're just gonna go in and do some tune-ups of the line work here. Yeah, I think Randy Orton hails from good old St. Louis, Missouri. Now, wouldn't it
St.
be...
Louis is one of very few, if not the only, U.S. city that is not in a county. So there's a fun fact. Washington, D.C. might also not technically be in a county, but I think it is. Maybe it's not.
Well, they just want to be special.
Yeah, the city just got so big that it encompassed the entirety of the county it was in, and so the city government just dissolved the county government because people were tired of having two governments doing the same thing.
Is St. Louis a nice city?
No, it is the highest crime rate in the United States.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, they beat out Detroit and Baltimore, so good for them. It has some positives, and it's not it doesn't feel like that dangerous except for a couple places. So like it's fine. They have one of the best zoos in the country. And a very good university, so they got a couple positives.
I guess that's nice.
Yeah.
I forgot to sample one of these bright colors here. Oh no, I actually didn't. It's this one that's a different color. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Now this one got a bit misaligned. This star here. So I'm gonna have to sample this. It's gonna take forever. Should have done this before. No. and cut that out, paste it back in, and now we can just sort of move it a bit to the side where we want it to be.
Looks pretty good. You've got the curvature accounted for.
Yeah, there. And then we're just gonna fill that in. Nice. Yeah, this one is way easier than the one I just did. Dawn Republic Production says, "Hello, Rhino. I've never seen you stream before. How is your day?" You know what? My day has been pretty okay. Been outside and just grocery shopping with the wife. Very exciting. It's a very exciting day. Oh, that's wrong. And I'm continuing with my weight loss journey that I'm having very good results with. I'm doing a keto. How do you pronounce it? What do you say? That I've been on since February 1st.
I was muted. Sorry. It's keto.
Keto. Gotcha. I've been doing it since February 1st. I did it before to lose a lot of weight when I was struggling with overweight. And then I kept it off for a couple of years. And then the pandemic hit. And when the pandemic hit, everything just went to hell. Everything went to hell, and I ballooned in weight. A lot of people gained weight during the pandemic, but I gained a lot of weight. I packed on like 20 kilos or something. And now I was just at a point this year where I'm like, you know what? Enough is enough. It is time to do something about this. So I jumped on the keto thing at February 1st. My goal is that I have 27 kilos to lose. So it's a project. Definitely a project. But I am currently down 14 kilos. 13 to go. So I've lost 14 kilos in 5.5 months. So keto definitely works. Can't say anything other than that. It works. I know it works because I've done it before. It's just, kind of tedious is the issue, and why some people have the struggle to stick with a keto diet, because you mostly eat like the same things every day. There's not a whole lot of variation. So it can get pretty boring. And you really have to get your keto cookbooks and try to really learn how to vary your cooking and do different things. The good thing about doing a keto diet is that it's not a diet. You're not dieting. So you're not supposed to walk around and be hungry. You don't have to count calories the way if you do a sort of calorie deficient diet. So eat until you're full. If you're not full, eat some more, because you're supposed to be full. You're not supposed to walk around being hungry, and you're still gonna lose weight. So that's nice, because that's something that I've otherwise been struggling with diets. The morale, it sucks for your morale if you have to constantly go around being hungry. And that's something that really can make you not be able to stick with it. Here's just stuff your face full of whatever, cabbage or bacon or anything that you're allowed to eat. And it's fine. Stuff your face full. You're not gonna gain weight. It's fine. So that helps. but it's still sort of like boring. But you know, the results speak for themselves, and that helps as well with morale. When you see the results and you see that it's working, and you see the kilos just sort of like disappearing from your body, makes it easier to stick with it. Are you gone? You haven't said anything in a while. Now you're muted again. Gate Nerd is muted.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure something out. Sorry.
Oh, were you were you listening to what I was saying?
Yeah, I have been listening. Sorry.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So I'm not here just talking to myself. Ah. All right. So now we're almost done here. We're just going to set the opacity of the shadow to 70%. And we're going to take the... let's see. Oh, wait, what? Did I do something wrong here? There we go, that's the one. I'm going to move that one up top. And now we can start merging down. Yeah. Excellent. And we're going to color this one black. And delete and... Hey. Something went wrong there. Okay, good. Just a small misstep. Now we can merge things down. Merge down, merge down, merge down, merge down, merge down, snip and snip, and we're done. Look at that. Look at that. Ain't that cute? Ain't that cute? Well, Winter Aurora, I hope you are happy with this. I think this looks neat. I'll type that in. Yeah. Nice. Beautiful. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to Moffe. I also had a request before from someone who said, what was it? Ohio's new flag. Which I promised. No, not Ohio. What was it? Was it Ohio? You have to give me a reminder. It was someone who made a donation, so that's... I feel like I should honor that. If I can remember what it was supposed to be. Because Ohio doesn't have a new flag. It's the same one it's always had. Utah's new flag. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah. Utah's new flag is cool. Okay, so Moffe. I'm gonna do a quick break from the drawing so that I can talk about this. And it's something that people ask me sometimes, like, oh, about like coming up with jokes and structuring comics and like how do I deliver the punchline in a better way. And I'm going to talk about my writing process for drawing comics. And I'm going to pull up some of my comics as examples of this. So something I tell people to do, because it's a pet peeve of mine when I see like approval requests. Sometimes when you read a comic, you can sort of like get a glimpse of how the author was thinking when they drew it. It comes with time. I've reviewed thousands of comics, so you notice some things and patterns. And one thing that is very apparent after a while is when people start drawing a comic and they don't have like a clear script written out. You can tell sometimes that some people they start drawing. They have an idea, but it's not super fleshed out. So they start drawing and they keep on drawing and they add more and more panels. And they're just hoping that sometimes, some time along the way, they're gonna stumble over a punchline. And typically these are comics that like don't really go anywhere, or they have like a lot of build-up that doesn't really lead to any sort of like satisfying payoff. Or it can be that they it feels like it's a bunch of different comics that just feel stitched together. There's no like thread that you can follow from start to finish. So what I do often, not always, but often, when I draw a comic, I start at the end. I start with the joke. The first thing I think of is, what is the joke going to be? What is the punchline going to be? So I start with the final panel of the comic. And then I work my way backwards from there. Where it's like, okay, now that I have the joke, I have the punchline. How do we get there? Who are the players involved? What things need to happen in the comic? And if you do it that way, typically you will get a narrative that is going to follow a thread from start to finish, because it's going to lead perfectly to the end. It's going to lead perfectly to the punchline because you started at the punchline and you worked your way backwards. And typically it's going to be pretty focused if you do it that way. It's not going to have superfluous things. It's not going to have like threads and ideas that you started with like and then abandoned along the way or whatever. And it's going to be coherent, and it's usually that's how you get good pacing as well, so that everything leads up to the joke in the right way. So that's the big thing. Another thing I have along the way, and this is just me, is that I try to squeeze in a joke somewhere in every panel. I try to always have something funny in every panel. So if we go, for example, to let's see. We can take any. We can take one of the contest comics that I made, or just a comic I made like a while ago, which I read a newspaper article about how USA had opened a Starbucks in Italy, and as a sort of like campaign or whatever, to get, because Italians have good coffee. Starbucks don't know what the fuck they're doing. You can't open a Starbucks in Italy. They have the good coffee there, people. So they were pitching this idea of selling olive oil infused coffee, because to an American that sounds Italian. I guess. So this is a real thing they did. A funny thing about that is there were a lot of reports that this olive oil infused coffee, first of all, was kind of gross and disgusting, and second of all, it had a very potent laxative effect, because coffee and caffeine already like has a laxative effect, and now you lubricate your insides at the same time. So people were drinking the olive oil coffee, and then they were like shitting their pants, which is hilarious. It's that's really funny. But I didn't do the comic about that. But instead I thought like, okay, where else can we go with this? What sort of funny jokes can we do about the olive oil infused coffee? And then I thought like, okay, regional variants. And then it came to me, the punchline of Sweden, Starbucks in Sweden selling rotten fish infused coffee. Because that works, that tracks with the narrative. So here's an example of I knew what the punchline was going to be, and that was going to be this panel of Sweden selling rotten fish infused coffee. So how do we get to that punchline? Very easy is that you see Sweden sees what America has been doing and tries to copy it, on his end, and then you can do the humor of repetition, because America does the same thing. So first, America sees that Italy pours olive oil on all its food, and then I just squeezed in beepity boopity. I cook the spaghetti with the olive oil because I thought that was funny to say. So that's the joke in the first panel. Then you get to the joke in the second panel of USA seeing that and just his reaction being selling coffee with olive oil. Haha. Then you get to the third panel, you repeat the first panel, and then you get to the punchline of Sweden selling rotten fish infused coffee. So like 4 panels, you have a very tight narrative where everything sort of makes sense and like it follows a thread. You get from point A to point B to point C to end up with a punchline, and there's something funny along the way in pretty much every panel. This is just like an example of like, this is my writing process, and this is sort of the stuff I come up with when following that process. So Moffe, I hope that makes sense as sort of like maybe something that can guide you in your writing. I hope that sort of makes sense and could be useful to you.
Yeah, there's no fluff in that comic too.
No. It's very tight. Very like sort of like there's nothing superfluous there. It just goes from point A to point B without anything pointless that doesn't need to be in there. Yes, FM Roman seems to agree with me. Says, in my experience, most jokes are funnier when you first come up with the punchline and then expand around it. Yes, I agree. I think that is Federal Republic of Semenesa Polska. Stop spamming. There we go. No, I've already said that it's the new flag of Utah. I agreed before that I was going to do it. And I will. Because I like the new flag of Utah. It looks really nice. The beehive flag. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good flag.
Yeah, better than the old one.
Well, yeah. It's a lot better than the old one because the old one is one of the worst. Look at this. Look at this trash. This is the old Utah flag. Industry. It's not even circumspice. It's just industry. It's not as bad as Kansas, but it's almost as bad as Kansas.
Nah, Kansas is great.
Kansas at least has a nice, pretty flower on top.
Yeah. This one, I don't even know what. That's probably the U.S. flag when it became a state.
That
But it
might
feels
be
like
it.
I'm missing a star in the bottom row.
And the stripes look a bit weird too, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Well, I think they have the right number of stripes. Could be.
Now, Utah's new flag. I have actually drawn it in one comic, and I liked it.
The mountains look good. It's better than just stripes.
It's nice because it's sort of like Estonia's flag, of like where the flag itself sort of like represents like the geography of the country.
Yeah.
It's nice. Why can't I do a ball? I'm having a ball moment. Chat, tell me about your ball moments. Wow, I can't do a ball. Okay, good. We have a ball we can work with. Okay, excellent. Now, just doing the standard cleanup to make the ball a bit more bally. In the places where it's not bally enough. Just some quick tune-ups. This is actually a technique I learned from Brain for Breakfast. This is how he used to do it in his comics to get balls that had the right ball shapes. And it's a good technique. So, why not?
Yeah, I hate editing ball outlines after I've drawn them. I basically only do them in one go, or I delete them. Just out of sheer frustration.
Yeah, now I did it wrong down here. It's sort of like better before. Now I gotta redo this. Oh yeah, that's way better. Way better. Excellent. Perfect. Now we have a good outline. Gotta breathe. So, people, don't take it from me. This is a Brain for Breakfast certified method. And that guy was pretty good at this Polandball thing. So, if he thought it was a smart technique, he might have been onto something. All right. Let's get cracking. So, what's it like living in USA in 2024?
It's not ideal, but
Can I say Uh, can I say that you guys are weird for having these 2-year-long election cycles? The rest of the
Ye-
world don't do that.
It's getting worse. It didn't used to be like that. I think it's partially because of Trump. If
Yeah,
we
I
had,
was gonna say, if like I remember that like his first week after like inauguration, he was already out on the campaign trail again and starting to campaign for his re-election.
yeah, we've never had a since the 1800s, we've never had a president who lost re-election and then ran for a second term, a non-consecutive term. So it's very unique. Um, if that weren't the case and Trump had lost in 2016 and was just running, say, for a third time, never having won, it would be completely different. But this is a nearly unique situation that we're in right now.
Yeah, but that's also the case of like everyone, for example, saying that like, oh, you can't replace Biden. There's not enough time. There's only 4 months until the election. How could you possibly do that? And I'm just sitting here going like, our election seasons are like 2 months long. Like that's it.
You have a prime minister, right? So it depends on who wins the majority of seats in parliament.
Yes, that is correct. We don't have a separate election for the leader of the country.
Yeah, that makes it easier because you don't really have that much national focus on those. And so the local election, you're basically just talking about local elections at that point.
I guess that makes sense if you look at it that way.
Yeah, because I know the UK also has very short election cycles for that reason. From an American perspective, at least, they're short.
Yeah, but even so, I think anyone saying that like, oh, 4 months isn't like nearly enough time to like sell in a candidate. Um, I completely disagree with that. I think that's lots of time. Lots of time. You could absolutely sell a new candidate to the American people in 4 months and get that message out. It's not a problem.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think that in general, you'd want more time, but when you're dealing with at best accusations of mental decline, that you don't really have a choice. Well, you do apparently have a choice to just not do anything about it, but I'm not a fan of that idea.
What do you think are the odds that Joe Biden is going to drop out of the election?
I'd say there's a 15% chance.
Really?
Yeah, pretty slim, but there would be my guess.
You know what I think the odds are?
0?
100.
100?
He is dropping out. 100. That's what I think. I think he might have already decided to.
Would be the best bet.
Because now more and more Democrats have started to openly call for him to drop out. And this in a way that feels concerted. There's like a new one every hour. And there's word that like behind the scenes, Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama, and a bunch of other like heavy hitters are trying to convince him to drop out. And
I don't doubt that. Yeah.
and donors have started dropping out as well, and that's the big one. when donors start pulling support, then you typically don't really have much of a choice anymore.
If it weren't for the 2020 election proving that an incumbent can lose, I think that there's a very slim chance. But because of that election,
It's not just that one.
oh, you might want to change your border on your ball color because you just filled it with red.
Yeah, I know. They're almost the same color.
Oh, but they're not. Cool.
No, they're not. They're just almost the same color. It's barely noticeable. Here, I'll show you. Yeah, there we go. Now you can see it a bit more clearly. But here's what I think. I think that the rest of the Democrat leadership has told Joe Biden, you have 72 hours. You have the weekend. Either you drop out gracefully, or this is going to get ugly. But it's very clear now that they are pulling support from him.
That'll be interesting. That's yeah, a very historic election in terms of presidential, like.
There's a statistic that people have thrown out, and that is that Joe Biden currently has like really, really low approval ratings. And no president that has ever had this low approval rating has ever gone on to win a re-election. Which means that he doesn't even have the so-called incumbent's advantage. It's another argument for why he should drop out, because like he's not popular. He's a very unpopular president right now.
Yeah. Obama was very popular between his two terms at that point, and Bush Jr. was
he was riding 9/11.
Yeah, he was still at his peak popularity basically. And then Clinton as well was at the peak of his popularity.
Yeah.
And Bush Sr.
He lost re-election.
So I assume that he's the example that they're comparing against for low approval ratings not getting re-election.
And Jimmy Carter.
Him, Jimmy Carter, and Trump are the only presidents to lose re-election while trying to be re-elected.
Are they the only ones? Wow.
They're the only ones since the 20th century.
Damn.
For that, I don't know. Because President Lyndon B. Johnson only served one full term, and did not seek re-election. So he also was a one and a change, because he took over after Kennedy died. He's the only one to win re-election, but he didn't run for it, so it doesn't count.
Gotcha. DR, what do you think of those low effort Polandball role play, map conquest, storytelling, etc. on YouTube Shorts? Well, I'm probably gonna answer similar to how Kolai answers these, in that we don't pay a whole lot of attention to what goes on YouTube, on like the greater countryballs community. The reason being that there's just too much. There's too many channels, and this is a luxury, kids. Kids, you have a luxury that you don't even know about yet, but you will when you get older and you understand it. And that luxury is called free time. That is something that you have that we don't. I'm very, very sort of limited in like what I can or cannot spend time on. Got a goddamn daughter to look after. So unfortunately, in the free time that I do have, I don't look at countryballs roleplay stuff on YouTube. I wish I had time to see everything, because at the end of the day, I still love Polandball. I love everything about Polandball, and I try to like keep informed and follow everything, but I can't. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. What about you, Gate Nerd? How much of the countryball stuff on YouTube do you have like a handle on?
The only countryball stuff on YouTube I've watched besides ours is Brain for Breakfast. I don't know anything that's going on in the broader community.
I like Berry Pie, but they mostly make like pretty pretty short sort of like meme stuff, but it's good, it's funny.
Yeah, there is a Chinese Polandball creator called Cat God. I do watch their stuff from time to time. It's
Berry Pie is the one who did like the coconut song, but with country balls. Love that video.
Right, yeah.
Oh, these eyes are all kinds of messed up. Gotta redo that from scratch. Let's just give him little happy eyes. Why complicate things? Ball moment. Chat hashtag ball moment. Okay, chat, I gotta know. How many ball moments have you had? Okay, there we go. New poll. and it's up to you to define what a ball moment is. I don't know. I can't tell that. I can't tell you that for you. Only you can know what a ball moment is. And what it means to you.
It's a very personal question, really.
We gotta get that started. Hashtag ball moment.
Yeah, that could be our channel hashtag instead of PBYT. Use ball moment. That's good.
Ugh, that eye is not nearly as good as the other one.
The pain of trying to make matching eyes.
It is awful. Actually, you know what? This turned out pretty good. That's nice. All right, so this is actually a very close poll. This is very close. Okay. Just gotta add this shading. And then we're pretty much done with this one as well. Do 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 do. I can't finish that doodle. I was gonna say I'm loving it, but then we would have gotten content ID claimed.
I hope they don't copyright strike jingles. I feel like that's fair game, unless you use it for something bad. But they'd probably do that manually. I'd hope.
Ah, you'd hope. Do 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 do. Never underestimate capitalist greed.
Yeah, the Library of Congress has a ton of images that are free to use, and Shutterstock or Shutterfly took them and put them all on their website and strikes videos or articles or whatever that use those for violating their copyright. These are open source images, though, like property of the federal government, which means that they're free for anyone to use. But they got taken to court over it, and I know that it ended up being that they were within their right to enforce copyright over those images, but I don't remember the specifics of it. So I have no idea, but they'll strike stuff for that. They've also done that to people's individual artists' work who make it open to anyone who forego the copyright. They will scoop those up and then do the same thing for stuff that people have made public domain on purpose to avoid that.
That is so messed up.
Yeah.
But you know, the flip side of that, you know what, I know there's a project some people are doing, or were doing, is that they were using like AI, or like some, not AI, but like some sort of machine learning tools or whatever, or to generate every conceivable melody for music. Every single conceivable melody they made. So there's like billions. And then they uploaded it all under like a Wikimedia Commons license, or saying they're like, oh, this is free to use. So
good for them.
Yeah,
until so, I get taken advantage of, but
no, so because of that, no one else like can come afterward and try to like claim that they like own that melody or whatever, because they're like, no, you're not the one who created this. We already did it, and we put it for free to use for anyone.
I'm gonna have to hop off to go make dinner.
That is fine. I have been streaming now for 2.5 hours. So I was gonna sort of like cut it now anyway, because for anyone not in the know, I live in Sweden, which means it is currently midnight here. And I do have a daughter, so I have to be a responsible parent and not stay up all night. Now, I have to once again ask chat to remind me who it was that asked me to draw the new Utah, so I can type that over their head, because I cannot go through all of chat all the way back and find who that was. I can't do it.
I will talk to you later. Have fun in the stream.
Thank you. Say goodbye to Gate Nerd, everyone. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me.
Adios.
All right. Mootkins, thank you. It was Mootkins. Sorry for forgetting about that. You are you will be properly not bold. Properly represented here. There we go. And look, people. This is today's haul. And might I say, I think this turned out pretty good. Pretty good with these drawings. So what I'm gonna do, just to not be a mess up of a person, is I'm gonna have to go back and get the original image here, so that I can paste these in without ruining someone else's art. There. That looks better. Nice. Now we have some stuff that that Cole I can follow up on as well. Now, unfortunately, people, like I said, it is midnight here in Sweden, and I unfortunately cannot do this any longer. I gotta go to bed for my daughter, 'cause she needs her porridge in the morning. But this has been great. This has been great. This has been a really fun stream. Thank you all for coming and watching. Thank you for tuning in. Always a great time to chat with you guys. And yeah, I've been picking this up a bit more, trying to get more time in for the channel lately. I'm gonna continue to try to do that. Yes, Georgie Young, I am sorry. I understand that there are people who have been waiting for a long time. Here's like, look, we are super happy and we're super grateful about the explosive growth the channel is seeing right now. Where we're like, every day when we wake up, we have like 1,000 new subscribers. But that also means that, like, you know, we get it becomes difficult to sort of keep track of everything and who have been requesting stuff and how long they've been waiting, because it's just like the goes on forever and ever. But we're gonna continue. We will eventually get to all of you, I promise. We will eventually get to every single one of you, even if it kills us in the process. In this one, I spent a lot of time drawing a hat. I spent a lot of time drawing a conquistador hat. But that's fine. That's fine. Sometimes you do that. Sometimes that's the stream. It's just a conquistador hat. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Had a good time, but I'm gonna tune out now. So I will see all of you guys some other time for something completely different.